Okay. Oh. Oh. My brain.
Back up a little more.
And then you put the money in those little
All right.
slots.
So this is the intro, mic and audio test. I guess test for everything else for the official episode of the first official season of the Youkno show. For the episode, the name is Change, and we're going to talk about change in different ways on this episode, give insight on how to embrace change, different examples of change, and also we're going to be hold on, I'm not the camera again. We're also going to be displaying our new layout where we play a board game. The board game we're going to play, I'm going to say in the video what layer in the video, but I hope y'all enjoy and please share, and thank you for everybody tuning in. All right, so welcome back to the Youkno show, all is watching. Today we're going to be playing, where's the box at?
Oh, it's right here.
All right.
Well, it's the bottom. I don't know where the top is.
All right, it's good.
It's over there somewhere.
All right, it's good. Today we're playing the game of life, and along with the game of life, the word that we're talking about, like I said, the intro is change. Just to give a little brief definition of what change is. Change is just it's progression in a way. It's something that's unexpected that puts you in a situation either where things are either good or bad, and the results of it most of the time are going to be good in my opinion, depending if you embrace it. Because with change happens to everybody. You can't control when change happens, so there's no point in trying to fight change. And change is part of what makes us human. Because we're all spiritual beings having a human experience. We're all in a way, my opinion, we're angels having a human experience. We have a soul, and we're not supposed to stay the same forever because everything stays the same. You know how boring that would be. And but I'm gonna dive into the episode, and thank y'all for tuning in. I hope y'all enjoy it. So, and also today, we have a new layout, and we do have two new guests who don't really come on our podcast or the video portions all that often. I'm letting them introduce themselves, and I'm also letting my co-hosts also introduce themselves.
I'm Jacob. Yeah.
Jacob does the sound and
the computer.
Yes.
I'm Eric, aka Look Nasty. I'm co-host here.
I'm Jimmie. What's up?
I'm Levi. So.
I'm John. I handle all video and camera work.
Yes. So this is the team for this episode. We're talking about change, and we're gonna start the game of life. I guess I'll start.
Put your little man in.
Oh, yeah.
Starting on career.
How much money did you start?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, well, Levi has to pass out all the money.
You would give everyone 10 5 10,000.
Just look. My bad, John. I didn't mean to snatch it from you like that.
Wow.
It was just been it was just been
cents
easy.
either. Wow.
Yeah.
Just for y'all to use.
Wow.
All right, but while Levi does that, I guess we can we get started on the topic. What's y'all definition of change?
Your punch right there.
Well, my definition of change is life, really. I mean, change is something that's really just a part of life that you can't really fight too often, so you got to be able to be willing to accept it as it comes to you.
Yeah, I think acceptance is a big part of embracing change. Because I know it's hard to be put. I know from personal experience, it's hard as fuck to be put in an unfamiliar situation where you don't know certain things, or it's just new territory for you. Because me personally, I get when I first came to college, for example, I was nervous as fuck to talk to people, meet new people, just because it was a new environment, somewhere that was far from home, and but once I started embracing it, then, I was able to meet more people. I put myself out there, and a big part of it was becoming more uncomfortable. Well, being more comfortable with being uncomfortable, because like I said before, being put in a situation where you don't know too much, or a situation that's unfamiliar to you, of course you're gonna be nervous. You know, of course you're gonna be uncomfortable. So you gotta embrace it.
Yeah, that's what I like about change. I feel like since it's something so broad that it's just something becoming another thing, it opens up the doors for there to be a lot of different types of change, like social change, changes in families, you know, stuff like that. And then it's like economic change, you know, and then just global stuff.
Yeah, most definitely. I agree with you about the. Wait. You said the global stuff?
Yeah.
Can you explain that?
It's like global changes, like, you know, I mean, the earth changes all the time.
Oh yeah, like.
And then just the world changes.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. I thought you were talking about like how. My bad. Nope. We just gonna.
Nothing specific.
Yeah.
If
My
y'all
bad,
go to
right.
college, y'all gotta put the 100K back.
Okay.
I was just letting everybody know.
But shoot, change to me. I had actually watched this broadcast with actor called Kevin Bacon.
Mhm.
He plays in a bunch of movies or whatever. And he said, if you're not changing, dying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You gotta adapt to that stuff.
Yeah.
So without change, you know, you're not surviving without change. So you know, good or bad, you guys to get through or whatever you gotta go through. So
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. Especially with how change influences our society today. You know, like I need to redo it.
Yeah.
Especially how change influences our society today. You know, like shit be changing like all the time. Like for example, you know, like look how much the world has changed from when I guess we were seniors in high school. It's kind of now.
yeah.
In a sense. And you know, I think the best thing about it is it gives you the opportunity to adapt to it, and you know, and also in a way it also tests your faith, I believe. Whenever things change for the worse periodically, and you just stick it out and keep adapting to it.
Definitely test like your morals and
Yeah.
your bravery and stuff like that.
All right, let's go. Take a DNA test and trace your roots. I'm 100% Negro, but I get 50K
What?
reparations.
You got a scholarship.
You got a scholarship.
But I think
Give me my 10K because it hit on our investment.
Then he graduated college and
You just stop at the graduation.
Yeah, just stop at the
Hey.
graduation because we gotta. Do we roll it now?
Yeah.
Yeah, spin the graduate.
What, does everyone just get a
You
ring?
failed.
How do we fail?
fucking.
So you go back.
No, we just say.
y'all need some dumbasses.
Does everyone get a random
That's
investment?
Jimmy's.
Jimmie,
Yeah.
Okay. I see.
Yeah, we're doing it on the last one.
What is that?
Hey,
y'all better run a lot of
Who's that
times.
mine?
Blue. Jaylyn
Let's
gets
see.
10.
Was that orange?
Oh,
Jalen has gained
yeah.
60K
Jimmie's
in
orange.
college.
Jimmie's stop it. It's like yellow.
Yeah, it's like yellowish orange.
Okay.
But I think
Wait.
You gotta move. Oh, you get a payday.
Oh yeah, you gotta pick your career too. You get 4 career cards.
You pick 2 career cards.
Let me
you
stop here.
it.
1, 2, 3,
He gets 2 career cards.
5, 6, 7, 8.
so. Let's see. How has change kind of you know
Musician, baby.
played
Come
factor
on.
in y'all life?
Wait, musician or politician?
You can't be a politician because you gotta go to college.
Baby, I'm a musician. Why do I always get these? Last time I got athlete.
How much you get paid?
I just changed
40K. And then
In my
bonus
life
is
is just
80K.
taught me that like people
So
aren't
you
forever.
got 40 people.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
people is just gonna leave and come, and you gotta treat life like
It's the
seasons. You know what I
Lord's.
mean? You're gonna feel different at different times, and people are gonna feel different at different times. But you just gotta, stick through it, and it'll teach you, that sometimes a better person that you can have is yourself.
Yep, and that's one of those things that you gotta be used to the change of somebody leaving or somebody coming. It's like a chapter in a book, really.
I feel like you still carry pieces of everyone you've left behind, kind of, in your life too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like that about life.
Yeah, because
Also, I'm an up and coming artist, so y'all give me 20K.
I guess to bounce off of that, when you said everybody immediately peace with you.
Yeah.
I low-key believe. Well, I mean, I can believe that everybody that a lot of people you meet in your life are meant to teach you a different lesson, whether it be good or bad. For the worse, it to make you a better person, and for the better, overall, makes you a better person. Just different events happen whenever you're bad and good and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But I can say that a lot of people, even the people I don't talk to no more, or I may have problems with, in a way, I know it kind of sounds weird, but I'm kind of thankful at least that they kind of came into my life, because they somewhat contributed to the person I am today, even if they did me like all types of fucked up or wrong. Was that awesome?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. He even if he knows I fucked up or wrong, like to an extent, I'm still grateful that I met them and learned the lessons I know now from them.
Yeah, because that's one of those things where you take what life gives you and you determine if it's good or bad, because you have to learn from somebody leaving or somebody coming into your life. And it's like, I'm thankful for everybody, regardless, good, bad, ugly, nice. It's one of those things that just made me to the person who I am today.
Yeah, there's always a lesson to be learned.
All right, so this action card I got, it says buy an old school bus from the junkyard. Choose one option. A, fix it up, sell it, and dude, this nose ring is like really fucking with me. Fix it up, sell it, and collect 50K from the bank. Or fix it up, rent out as a party bus, and collect 20K from each nigga. I'm gonna go with option B.
Okay. You get 20K from each one.
Why he gotta do this to us, man? Well, I don't even want us.
Y'all still my niggas.
I don't care about that bus, bro.
Nobody care.
Oh my God, Eric.
Bro, we're getting our PhD, bro. Chill. We're getting our PhD.
Y'all are 6-year seniors, bro.
We're getting our PhD.
You
Chill.
roll. You gotta roll. Let it go. What you gotta roll?
You gotta roll over 2.
Hey, bro, maybe hard labor ain't that bad, but
It's your turn, Jimmy.
So we're still ahead of him though.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say nothing.
Alright.
y'all failed. I haven't graduated. I haven't got just graduated.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all got 2.
Yeah, we're getting PhD. We're getting our PhD, bro.
4, 5, 6, 7.
For your bachelor's.
Nah.
You
He's
paid
getting
tax.
paid.
Will you pay your
How much
PhD
did
at your
you get?
master's?
6 years, bro.
Give me 80K.
How do you do that?
And you got
Accelerated master's.
yeah, accelerated masters, but you have to have like a 3.5 and keep it above that for you to get
And no, I'm not getting
for you to
paid.
be even qualified to try to apply for it.
That means,
I'm gonna apply for it.
Yeah.
Hey, so I think another.
Spin again.
I spin again if I don't get married.
Let's see. I think another aspect of change I kind of want to dive into and talk about.
Yes.
Jimmy just paid himself.
Yeah.
Double his pay.
And then I get paid.
Double his
Oh wait,
pay.
yeah, you get 80. Give him 50.
He gets 80? Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Jimmy, stop hacking, dude.
Oh my god.
Jimmy's already cheating y'all.
Hey, Jimmy,
I'm a musician.
turn some of them 10s into 50s.
Yeah, I'll do it again. I've already had to do that twice.
I
It's
think.
our turn, Jimmy.
That's how broke y'all are.
3.
I'm finna turn my 50s.
Damn.
1, 2, 3. Uh-oh.
And you could give Jimmy 20K.
Jacob, you're rolling this next time.
Hold on, you gotta give me a 50. Jimmy. I mean, you gotta give me like 10 for it.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
We're gonna have to split the bank. It says build your own skate park. Pay the bank 30K.
Hey,
So
man,
I think
y'all already broke, bro.
you gonna have to give me 30. Yeah,
I get 250.
We ain't even got our career yet to mess with John, and John already being broke.
I'm sorry. How many times have you failed college? You have failed college twice.
I'm on my PhD right
No,
now. Chill.
you feel
Just
me.
because I'm trying to get my PhD don't mean nothing.
Is it my go?
Yeah.
All right. So I think another aspect of change I want to talk about at least is that for people who are watching who either come into college or in college. Because a common thing with college, at least I've learned, is that that shit's always changing. Like either from the plans you had when you came to college, the career you wanted when you came to college, or it was in college, and most of all, I think isn't talked about enough or encouraged enough is changing your majors, or I guess kind of dropping your losses or feeling free to explore things that you're interested in. Because I think a big part, for me personally, was money for one, like in a career field I wanted to go into. And 2, just letting go of a career that I had envisioned for the longest, even though I have the interest in the classes or the field when I got here. Just letting it go was really hard for me. And I, once I started looking at the bright side of it, embracing change, that's when I was able to feel more at ease with it, and I guess do what interests me now, for real.
I really like that college allows you to, learn about something you really, really like, and then you'll be able to stack up money after learning about it.
I got 7.
Allows you to just go to.
Yeah, it definitely allows you to fail. It tests if you really like it too, and they'll push you.
Ooh,
Damn it, Jimmy.
Barely ready.
Did I spin again? Or
No, you just go 3.
How much do I get paid?
31.
You gotta get your career going.
Jaylyn barely graduated.
I'm in it too.
Mm-hmm.
I
No,
still
you
ask
asked more
for
since you went to college.
But
He's not
also,
wrong.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you a little bit on that one, Jaylyn, because about like majors changing isn't a common thing talked about, because a lot of my professors, especially when I was doing dual enrollment, talked about how they changed their major multiple times.
Well, yeah,
But I feel like, well, specifically for black households, it's like it's do or die most of
yeah,
the time.
in relation to my experiences, it always felt as if that, you know, for the longest, you know, so my parents, you know, since I said I want to be a pediatrician, and, you know, that's the idea, I gave everybody I met, you know, that I had to stick to it because.
You're being recorded, you know that, right? This is going in the bloopers.
All right, so we're back. We had to take a little break. Where were we at in the game?
You picking your career.
you-
Oh,
picked your
yeah. Yes, off the game, I put my career. We're gonna be a veterinarian. We're gonna salary 70K, bonus of 110K. So if I collect 70K from you,
Did you pass payday? Yeah.
All right, 70K.
yeah,
70K for the guy over there and button down.
yeah. And I also bought a rustic cabin for 180K. So
Yeah, cabin.
You got my house.
yeah, I got Jimmie's
Your house.
dream house.
You got my house.
I'm also up 70K, so that's dope. But I guess another part of change. What was you talking about before? We was talking about the change. Topic of change that I guess we're gonna dive into is, I guess, in the sense of what you can become, like your potential. You know, because with change, you know, change is always opportunity for potential. Just how, you know, a lot of things. And, you know, I think different things are described, you know, disguised as change or the beginning of change. Like for example, you never know like how your day's gonna go until, you know, you actually experience your day. Like for example, when I was in 7th grade, and Eric came to Carter for the first time. I did not think that he'd be my roommate now. Or like when I was in for Bama Bound, even though like that shit was shitty as fuck for me personally, I still didn't expect to meet, you know, Sam. Shout out to Sam. And you know, I most definitely didn't expect to get lost and for Jimmie to, you know, kind of save me. And yeah, man, I was gonna do it, bro.
Bro, me and my mom were walking and we saw this dude, bro. He just looked all.
Yeah, man, dude, I was trying to use Apple Maps and that shit was just not. That shit was just not working for me.
Yeah.
But who goes it?
Or, well, I mean, we just finished. We need 120.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out. Here you go. I thought you said 220.
Yeah. We need one more. Which 110?
We didn't want to ask that about you.
Is it me?
Yeah, and then we get an action part too.
Yeah.
It's mine.
What about y'all? What specifically, like, it's Eric and Jacob.
Undone.
Specifically, Eric and Jacob. What do y'all think about you know, I guess change when it comes to the sense of, you know, progression?
Change is good. You can't like avoid it no matter what. Change is always gonna happen. So
Change is progression. What do you mean? Like, well, I mean, what you call it?
Like growing.
Like what?
Like growing. Yeah.
Oh, dang, I just drew a blank. I can't lie to you.
That's real. What about you? Well, you know, I guess we come back. We come back. What about you, Jimmie?
In progression?
Yeah, like, you know, change in relation to like, you know, like as progression as a person, you know, growing.
So I put in the aspect, I just picked up a guitar.
Mhm.
And so I feel like the way I've progressed with it has changed because when I was a beginner, I was borrowing my homie Gumbo's guitars and doing that stuff, and I was learning how to play, and I was like, okay, this is cool. Got my own. I got into it because I could like really feel my own guitar and do all that kind of stuff. I got more comfortable with it. And then I started accelerating rapidly. I was like, okay, I can play these songs now. That's insane to me.
Yeah.
Because I really like the instrument. So I feel like when life goes by, I mean, if you just put in the work, I feel like you'll progress a little faster. And if you're really comfortable with what you're doing, and if you really have a passion for it. So that's how I feel about change and progression.
I agree with you. I guess to like, you know, I guess jump off to something you said. Well, you know, in relation. Oh, what's up?
You're good. No, you're good.
In relation to you picking up the guitar, for example, like Okay, I think one part of change or progression that should be I guess not encouraged but talk about more is kind of like when you start out with something new or you learn something new or you struggle with it or we go through something change and you kind of struggle a little bit. That like you struggling or anything getting bad is not a sign for you to give up. It is not a sign for you to give up. The only reason why it's challenging or that it's involved in your life is because it's either there A to teach you a lesson or two because it's something you can do if you put the time and work into it. And I guess to jump off what you said about passion, I really agree with you when you say, when you put work into you have passion for it.
Yeah.
Like, for example, like my first idea for the podcast, right? Or, the show. I really did not think, it would grow into a passion until I started working on it and, planning stuff out and, come up with different ideas for it. Especially when we take, like, especially when we took the break to figure out how we could get the layout and make it more entertaining. Yeah. And, I don't know, that's just how I just want to share at least with, the people watching. Just to show, I guess, how much more dedicated we are and more consistent we're going to be with the show. But what about the book? Have you drawn up that blank yet?
No, I'm not gonna lie. Guys.
He's been chilling.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
I've been zoned out.
I've been zoned out.
Yeah. But let's see. I think and to go back to the struggle, how I said that just because you go through it doesn't mean it's time to give up. And I think this goes people in college, people in school, people who struggle with school or, any type of academics in general. Just to say sometimes failure is just opportunity for you to learn what you could have done differently so you got a different outcome so you can progress as a person. Because a lot of the time, and I'm one of these people, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm gonna keep it totally a buck. A lot of the time, I'm not gonna change my ways until, even if they're negative habits, until they start negatively affecting me. And that's something that I know I have to work on a lot. But I'm human at the end of the day. It's certain qualities, certain temptations. Well, not temptations, but certain things that's gonna get me, or that I do that's not really beneficial for the long run of the plans I want to do.
I like your point because a lot of people struggle with the thing when they realize that there's things that people need to change inside of them that are affecting other people. They just don't know about it.
Yeah.
And if people are telling them, they're just like, oh no, it's not affecting me, I'm doing good. And they just don't care about it makes it seem like they don't care about the other person they're affecting,
Yeah.
So I think that's an important part of change as well.
Yeah, especially taking criticism.
Yeah.
I think for me example, criticism can be offensive. I think that's the point of criticism. It's supposed to be offensive because it's something you want to change about yourself. Just because it offends you, it necessarily doesn't mean it's a bad thing when coming to critiquing someone. Now, if you just walled off calling somebody some shit, I don't know about that. But if I ask you to, for example, before anything we put out, I ask all of y'all if it's a good idea, for how I can make it the podcast better or anything better. And even if the answers you say kind of offend me or I don't like them, I'm not gonna I'm not taking it personally, because the main thing I want to do is my passion, make it better, make everything I guess I want to do better or make my life better. Sure. I think the only way you can do that is by having an open mind and accepting other opinions.
Yeah.
But I think the only thing with that is I think you have to know when you have to know when I guess someone's speaking too far off course or just not trying to help you or relate to you any type of way for
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of people who have shady intentions behind whoever who have shady intentions that you don't know about, and that's just part of change in life. Even though, and I know it can sound the wrong way, but in a way, those type of people are just there to teach you a certain type of lesson that's going to help you in the long run. And bring better people or someone better into your life. Is it my go?
Yeah.
All right.
I have to go to this job interview.
Oh yeah. Wish Levi luck on his job interview.
See your boy.
See you, Levi.
Good luck on the interview.
Good fam.
Yes,
Alright, so who's the maker, Jacob?
John.
Oh, John's maker? Is it on?
We're recording. It's recording now. So lock the fuck in. Alright. Hello from the Good Morning Show, or from the Show. Good morning from the. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Bro. Nah, you gotta stop recording. Can we cut it out?
No, that's a good one. I like that blooper. Do you want to stop?
It already stopped.
Okay.
I wasn't say because can we cut it out? Ain't nobody gonna steal it. Or just yeah. Or just people who just are not in your corner or in your shade. I guess people who aren't in your corner. You know, people. Because sometimes our friends or people we think are our friends. When we ask for criticism, a lot of, like, at least from my experiences, I thought it was criticism, but looking back on it, it was more so, I guess, hate or, just downgrading than criticism. Criticism is meant to help you. It's meant to, help you improve, not put you down or, to come from a personal attack from someone you deem your friend. And, I think a big part of meeting people who, I guess, in a way, two-faced is a big part of life because those people teach you. I guess from my experiences, those people taught me boundaries. They taught me self-confidence. They taught me numerous things that have led to the person I am right now. So, that's it. What about y'all, man? What y'all think?
I mean, I'll touch on the criticism part. You got to be willing to accept criticism, regardless of what it is, whether how hard you believe it is, because criticism is one of those things that helps you grow as a person and change. It's one of those things where you're going to get that regardless of what you do in the job field, through family, friends, even from random people that you meet. It's one of those things that it just happens, and you got to be willing to accept it because it helps you grow as a person. And not everybody's out to get your neck, so don't think everybody's out to get you.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, most definitely, especially with her criticism. It's, I think it's something. Oh no, that's only 150. Like 50. That's a big part of it. I guess criticism also contributes to change because it lets you know what
you need to change.
Yeah, what could be better. Like failing.
Notes.
Yeah, like failing for real. Mm-hmm. Failing is just the highest level of criticism I believe there is in a sense because when you fail a test, you can't really take it personally because it's something you're supposed to prepare for. And when you fail a test, it lets you know what you missed, so what you could do differently, or what you can do differently. And I think that's a big part of college. Most definitely is failing and learning what you could have done differently, what you can do differently, or to get better for your passion, or for wherever in your life. Because I think perseverance is a really good trait to adapt through change or through criticism, through numerous things for
And another point I want to touch on with failure is that failure, I'm guilty of this all the time. It's where I know what I need to improve on, but I don't. And you gotta be able to hold yourself accountable a lot of the times for that change to benefit you.
Yes, self-accountability is, I think, a big part of change because you really can't go all of your life with saying, oh, it ain't my fault or this is somebody else's fault.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't grow that way, you don't change that way. You hold on to negative qualities that make up, I guess, the current person you currently are, whether you're happy with or you're not. Regardless, that's a quality that
Yeah.
you see. So I got 10.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I also get paid.
What you get? How much you get paid?
70 good.
How's a vet worth more than an astronaut?
Don't worry about it.
I'm just trying to figure it out, boss.
Yeah, we teleported, didn't we? At least I did.
Oh yeah. In case you're watching, Levi he had a job interview. Best of luck to him.
Indeed.
So I don't remember none of these posts for
You don't have to go.
So let's see. I guess now we're just talking about for real. I guess change in our lives. Change how changes impact us and lessons we've learned through change. At this point in our lives, because I feel like I guess from compared to high school to now, I'm like I believe I'm a totally different person because we wouldn't be on camera for real if I was in high school. Like I never thought I would do something like this at least. So I guess that's not part of change. Like I said, the unpredictability of it. The fact that no matter how many scenarios run through your head of how you think your life is gonna go, you never really know until you're experiencing it, until you're going through it, until you're in the midst of change, and until you're done with the process or the cycle you're going through that involves change. Because change is only meant to benefit us to the bear, and I'm a believer of that now. Beforehand I always thought change was a bad thing. I want things to stay the same because I was comfortable, but I really wasn't happy until I embraced change, and I guess just started living by means of what makes me happy for real. I guess that's the biggest thing I've learned from change is just living my life by just living for real. I mean, that's the best. I don't know how to describe it. That's the best thing I believe that can happen is, or for you to do. Me personally, the best thing for you to do is live your life by means of what makes you happy. And I believe change is a key to living your life based upon your own happiness. What about y'all? Your experiences with change at least, or how it's helped you become the person you are today.
Well, I mean, with change, a lot of my change had to deal with people coming in and out of my life. It's just, I don't really know how to explain it. It just created me to who I am today, and that's all I can really that's all I can really think about it to that extent.
Well, yeah, I mean, I get what you mean. I get what you mean. I think that was a big part of change for me also, because I know one thing about me is I'm an empath. Well, especially when I was younger, all I really cared about was sparing people's feelings, not hurting people's feelings or whatnot. And that led to me being unhappy because I was putting other people's feelings for my own. And looking back on how I felt when I was doing that, putting other people's happiness for my own, I really wasn't as happy as I am now. And I'm still an empath. I just
put yourself first.
Yeah, I just had to learn how to put myself first. And I guess that's contributing to who I am today, because I kind of had to learn everybody's feelings for certain situations, or in certain scenarios that impact me mostly. I don't think, well, at least now, I don't take them into consideration as much because of the fact that at the end of the day, I know it sounds really messed up or whatnot, and it's not me taking the wrong way, but all you do have is yourself.
Yeah.
So the best thing for you to do is, just say fuck other people's opinions or their feelings about certain things, especially situations where I guess undeniably you're in the right, and I wouldn't hate using right or wrong, but unless you're undeniably in the right, then or if it's something how you feel, if something makes you feel some type of way, something makes you feel negatively, don't be afraid to change it or speak up about it, or to stop, or to stop doing something or hanging out with that person, or get away from that situation, because all it's going to do is benefit you and lead to change.
And you know what? On that point of you saying that at the end of the day, the only person you really have is yourself, is crazy thing is my dad was the first person to tell me that, especially when I swapped schools, whenever I changed high schools. I told him I didn't want to at first because that's where all my friends were at. He said, Boog, at the end of the day, said you came here alone, and said 9 times out of 10 you're going to leave here alone. So at the end of the day, the only person you got to rely on is yourself.
Yeah, most definitely. And I think, I guess the biggest part of balance, I guess what changed, I guess my experience that led to me learning to balance, I guess put myself first while also keeping others in consideration is, I guess by just, trial and error in a sense, I want to find something different to say, but trial and error, from my experiences, because I guess a lot of the bridges I've severed, or relationships or friendships I don't have no more, some of them were my fault, and I'm not really ashamed to say that, because I've known since then I've grown as a person. And trial and error, the best thing you can do with that, is, from my opinion, is change. Look upon what you did wrong, accept what you did wrong for whatever relationship bridge you severed. Look at what you did wrong, apologize for it, and if that person doesn't want to accept you back into your life, even after you've changed, that's okay. They're not obligated to. But as long as you can look in the mirror at yourself at the end of the day and say you forgive yourself for what you did and how you impacted them, then that's all you can do. And sometimes the only thing you can do is all you can do. And there's nothing wrong with that at all.
Just try to make sure it's the right thing.
Yeah.
For both sides.
Yes,
if you
most
can.
definitely.
If you can.
Not like, with that being said, I'm not saying if you want to just like cheat on your girl and you know some like some wild shit. I'm not saying use that in like in that scenario. You kind of thug at rape yourself.
Your fault.
Yeah, yeah.
You gotta eat that.
Yeah, you just got to work on yourself and move on, man. I ain't gonna cap with you, bro. You just got.
Yeah, I got too much advice for cheating.
Yeah, me either, bro. They ain't no.
Ain't nothing you can do about that.
But yeah, I also think another aspect of change that really helped me as a person I became to place my girl.
Yeah.
Oh, I think another part of change that helped me to the person I am today. Yes. Just think.
You just spit it in, yeah. You just stay at the top and spit it in.
I mean, I'm just mad.
What?
You gotta pay 50K to max.
All right, yeah. So I guess another part of change, I kind of, from my experiences, is forgiving. That's forgiveness. That's something that's changed for me over the years a lot because like initially I always felt like it's okay to be angry at somebody because you're wrong. You know, it's okay to hold on to it because you have a reason to. But you know, I saw how miserable I was doing that because you know that just ate me alive. 70K by the way. 70K. Who's making it? 70K. And yeah, it was eating me alive. And the wild thing was those people had won their lives. They didn't give a single fuck about my emotions negatively or you know how I was feeling. And you know, I guess carrying that hate for so long is spewed into me lashing out at other people or me just picking up bad habits. And once you forgive and once you really learn how to forgive someone, it's not for them. You know, like I said earlier, even if it is for them, they're not obligated to accept you. But forgiveness starts with yourself. That's a big part I had to learn. Just give a reason to be upset or to hold on to things doesn't mean that it's not a valid reason because you're holding on to get past. What's the point? Because you know, every second or every breath we breathe is a step into the future. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
What's the point of holding on to you know past situations or past things or you know beating yourself up about certain shit or you know about your mistakes or your shortcomings? Like genuinely, what's the point? Especially with the life that we can live. There's so much other things you can do instead of beat yourself up. And once you start forgiving yourself, that's when you can grow and you know change your life as a person. At least from my experiences.
And change takes time too. You gotta allow yourself to take the time to change too.
Yeah,
that's a huge thing.
Most definitely, because change doesn't happen overnight. And
Yeah,
I think
gotta allow that.
I low-key think that's probably the next concept we're gonna dive into. All right, so all y'all owe me 10K.
Cool.
That's crazy work. On another point is that you got to be able to. Oh, dang it, I lost it. Forget it.
All right, but so I guess we could talk about. Can I get a 50K, please? All right. So, yeah, you know, things don't change overnight. Change is a process that takes, you know, time. And I think the biggest thing with that is acquiring patience or learning patience. And, you know, like, I know I'm not the one who can't be talking because I get really impatient at times. But, you know, the more I work on it, the more I start realizing sometimes waiting is the best thing to do because if things are meant to happen, they'll come to you. You know, you don't have to force it. It'll come to you naturally. It's just gonna, you know, it's gonna feel easy. You know, I mean, sometimes it takes hard work in order to acquire, you know, or you know, it takes hard work for that change or for you know, you acquire whatever you want. But at the end of the day, I mean, that's the process of change. Like for example, I know a lot of people struggle with comparing themselves to celebrities, right? They started somewhere, unless they're nepo babies. They started somewhere.
Still normal people, bro.
Yeah, they're still normal people. They still have a start. They still have work and grind. Them that you're seeing right now is not the person that you
saw.
Yeah,
product.
yeah, like they all work hard for it. Same thing with people who have, I guess, people who are insecure about their bodies, because that was a struggle for me a lot of my life, was I was really insecure about my body. Either I felt I was too chubby or I was too skinny. You know, it was something I always struggled with. And, you know, once I started putting the work in by working out, eating healthier, and overall taking care of myself, you know, it was a process. It most definitely was a process. Trust me, it was a process. I'm probably gonna paint a picture right here from like 7 years ago.
Pretty much to sum up what he was trying to say is that don't compare your work in progress to somebody else's finished product.
Yeah, or even, well, I mean, not really finished product, just people in general. I mean, because we're all different people and we all have a different purpose in our life. We shouldn't spend it comparing to other people. I mean, because, you know, like I said before, you know, insecurity, like concrete insecurity basically is part of change. It's something that has to happen in order for you to grow into a person, for you to live your life, like I said earlier, by means of what makes you happy, by, you know, putting your happiness first. You know, it's just something that you, damn, what was I talking about?
I'll continue off of what you were saying. What you call it, like for example, from what I understand from what he was saying is that I'm going to use an example of one of my friends, Wesley, back in Dothan. Shout out Wesley if you're tuning in. But he was telling me about how he feel like he was being used in a certain, he was insecure, and he was telling me, and I was trying. I'm not going to tell his business online, but basically what I had told him is that regardless of what other people, other people's emotional baggage, you can't let them put that baggage onto you. Sometimes you have to be able to shake off other people's emotional baggage for yourself.
Yeah.
If you can understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Okay, but I caught my thought. It was about insecurity, but you know, like, it's a process that we all go through. You know, like basically you start somewhere. Like I said, I was working out. Like when my body was insecure, and so I did things. I put the work in. You know, I start the process. I start the cycle, and quite frankly, I'm at a place where I say I'm happier with my body and more confident than I was. You know, let's say a year and a half ago when I was comparing myself to other people who were a finished product or just other people in general. But yeah, most definitely. But who turned is it? Mine? Right there.
Also, I got an action card. We have to roll. Everyone spins this. Who wins? Highest spinner collects 20K from each player.
I need
80K.
from everyone or just their bag?
All right, so here's the plan. We're gonna wrap up the concept part, right?
Yeah.
And we can finish the game, and the games will go on YouTube regardless.
Okay.
So we need to get the videos on my laptop and just go from there. But you know, well, this part's gonna cut out most definitely.
Am I allowed to step back in?
Yeah.
In all honesty.
Now let's go.
So what I said we're gonna do is we'll finish the game and just post it along with the concepts. But the concepts are gonna be the podcast.
It's still running?
Yeah.
What was the question again?
Oh, basically Levi's back, guys. But
That's the only camera.
how has change played a factor into who you are today?
More of, you know, not the changing of like myself per se, but like the changing of others that have shaped who I am today. Because, like I said earlier, you know, once you realize that you yourself, you know, you change every day, you know, just from like how you feel and stuff like that. But like once you realize that somebody who like you trust in, or somebody who you believe is like solid in something that they believe in, or solid in you, and they start to change like how they feel about you, or change like the way they think about you and stuff like that. It'll really open your eyes and you know, it, not saying that it'll get you comfortable with change, but it'll make you realize that, you know, change is out there, and that sometimes change is good, but just as something can be good, it can be bad. So it's just like, you know, you gotta know what type of change it is, and realize that even in the times where you're changing for the worse, that there's still a lesson to be learned.
Yeah, I like that. And you know, we're gonna wrap up the podcast portion of the show. If you listen on the podcast, if you'd like to see, I guess, the rest of us finishing the game, you can check out YouTube. It's the show. Just go to our links. Our Instagram will be in the description. Just type in Instagram, go to the page, go to the link tree, all that. And please spread the word, because we're working on something great here. But I guess just to wrap up, change in a sense. From our whole conversations today, I've gained many perspectives of change. change is something that's meant for us to grow, you know, because without change, we stay stagnant and we fall behind and we go backwards. And in this life that we live, because keep in mind, life is limited, you know, regardless. That's why I say live freely by your happiness. If in this life, going backwards just sets you back. And sometimes I know going backwards is needed for us to go forward. But if you're constantly going backwards, constantly finding yourself tackling the same problem, same issue, then you need to look at it and reevaluate it so you can get past that part of going backwards or failing again and do what you have to do to get through this cycle of change, wherever you're going through. Whether it's school, financial issues, job, hell, anything that you're going through, anything you're trying to do, if you keep failing at it, it's not going to change until you put the work into it. Because change comes to those who are willing to put the work in. Change comes to those who put the hard work into that passion. And I know I sound really hypocritical right now because of the fact the podcast has been on and off for the past God knows how long. But with me saying that, I'm acknowledging the fact that I've been moving backwards with the podcast, and I had to put the work in if I want the podcast and the show to be as great as I think it could be. And change is hard. You got to put hard work in for change. It's not going to come to you. You guys take that step. You gotta become comfortable with being uncomfortable. Because when you're become comfortable being uncomfortable, nothing in this world can truly stop you, because new experiences are just uncomfortable, situations or areas. The best thing you can do is embrace change and continue to embrace change. It's part of becoming human. We have to change in this lifetime. Hell, even when we die, we change in some shape or way. Change is made all around us. The world changes every day, every second. Something different is going on in the world. Hell, today is someone's birthday probably that I have no idea about, and people change also. And with people changing also, you gotta know how to navigate them and don't let it affect you. Forgive yourself, forgive them, because that's the only way you're gonna progress as a person. Holding on to old shit from people who don't deserve anything, that don't deserve you as a person in your life, is the worst thing you can do for yourself. Because of the fact that they, in some situations, if they wronged you, they took advantage of a great person and they don't deserve you, let them go. Letting go is part of the quest for change, and that's an episode on its own. But thank you for everybody who tuned into the show. We really appreciate the support. Please share and tune in. Spread the word. We're working on something great here. For, like I said before, for the podcast portion, if you want to watch us finish the game of life, because I have to go to work in like 10 minutes, it'll be on YouTube with the rest of the podcast, with the rest of the episode with our concept. So, please tune in, drink water, treat everybody as we should be treated, most definitely. Live life, embrace change, show out.
Roll Tide!
Roll Tide!
What is wrong with you? You're a lawyer. If anybody likes you,
Wait.
if anybody likes you,
This is what happened to your lawyer.
That's
in the game.
Y'all niggas are suing your lawyers, cuz.
no, they sued you when you were a lawyer.
Hey, why
And then they're saying you're their lawyer. Why are you going to sue your lawyer?
Because we knew you were working for them.
That's
No.
You expect your lawyer to
We knew he was working with you. We exposed y'all for a corrupt the government, and you
But
put
you
him in power.
But you still tried to get him to help you after suing the nigga.
Yes.
John.
What is that word?
Wait, John. That's the equivalent to beating a nigga ass
And then expect that nigga to help you out.
Yeah, and then like a bigger fish come and start beating your ass,
And you expect him to jump
that
in.
nigga, and he's like, "Hey, bro, you got my back."
Yes.